in his 2 defeats. One was to Bobby Boogaloo Watts here at the Spectrum on January 13th, 1976. He lost a decision as 2 judges overruled the referee. Now let's go to Bill Diodizio.
Ladies and gentlemen, this will be a 10-round bout. From Brockton, Massachusetts, weighing 159 pounds, red trunks with a white stripe, the marvelous Marvin Hagler. On my right, from North Philadelphia, red trunks with white lettering, weighing 161¼ pounds, Benny Briscoe.
I think the best way to identify these fighters is Marvin Hagler has a beard.
Yeah.
And almost everything else is identical.
Yep, except the Jewish star and the trunks worn by Briscoe.
Right. Briscoe is wearing the Jewish star. You know, we talked to the promoter Russell Peltz before the fight, and he said that neither fighter would relinquish on wearing the red trunks, so he wasn't going to have them argue about it.
That was a good move.
Benny is looking away as referee Tommy Reed tells the fighters the instructions. He's turning his back to Hagler. They're not done yet. Reed calls him back. What's this tactic for?
Well, that's another that would be just like Benny Briscoe growing hair. He normally stares right into the eye of the opponent. He's right there on him. Tonight, reverse psychology.
What's going on, family? I'm Scrapbookboxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. I want to continue to examine 100 years of World Championship fights. Marvelous Marvin Hagler defeats Bad Benny Briscoe. 10 rounds in Philadelphia Spectrum. Referee was Tommy Reed. 14,930 spectators arrive at the Spectrum to witness their hometown hero take on the marvelous one, Marvin Hagler. Now, Briscoe was 35 years old. He stood 5'9.5" He weighed 161 pounds, and he had a 71-inch reach. He had a record of 60 wins, 16 losses, 50 knockouts. Very strong fighter was Bad Benny Briscoe. As for Marvin Hagler, he was 24 years old. He stood 5'9.5". He weighed 159 pounds, and he had a 75-inch reach. He had a record of 40 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, and 33 knockouts.
Benny a boxer.
No, he isn't.
Let's take a look at Bad Benny Briscoe and marvelous Marvin Hagler. Now, Briscoe has his back to you. Marvin Hagler is to your right. He's a southpaw with a beautiful jab. He was going to have a lustrous career with fighters such as Ray Leonard, Thomas the Hitman Hearns, Roberto Duran. Now, Hagler pops out the jab, and that's what he's known for. Briscoe is stalking Hagler around the ring, and that's what he's known for. Briscoe had 2 wonderful opportunities to win the middleweight championship belt, and he blew them both.
Good combination by Hagler.
Here's another shot with marvelous Marvin Hagler to get back into contention.
Good short shots on the inside. Benny's got to get out of here. You can't just walk, stalk, and not punch. It's just unheard of when you're fighting someone like Marvelous Marvin. On the other hand, Marvin is moving an exceptional amount more than he normally does. Normally he has a short circuit. Benny's taking it away from him. He's absorbing punishment. But I think Benny may have a pretty good strategical plan here.
1 minute to go in round 1. Both fighters in red trunks. Briscoe has the Star of David on his. Hagler has a beard.
Hagler looking for the big right hook. Hagler having to start awful fast may have an effect on him down the stretch. Benny's used to going 10. He's been 10 more than 50 times. Not more than 50 times, about 10 times actually. Really rough with an opponent like this man right here, Marvin Hagler.
Briscoe bleeding from the nose. 10 seconds left to go in round 1.
Nice 2-1 thrown by Marvin Hagler.
first round goes to Marvin Hagler.
Definitely.
This is a 5-point must system. And the bell does not save you in Pennsylvania. It's rated 5 by the WBA, 10 by the WBC, and 5 by Ring Magazine. Briscoe always stands between rounds.
I once asked him about that feat, and he says sitting down and getting up makes him tired.
Marvin Hagler, rated 8 by the WBA and 8 by the WBC, but 1 top contender by Ring Magazine. Both fighters looking for a title match with champion Hugo Coro, who took the crown from Valdez in Italy earlier this year. Round 2. It's expected that champ Coro will give Valdez a rematch in December. And then the winner of this bout is expected to get the next title shot. Hagler coming out of the clinch with the flurries. The hometown of Rocky Marciano.
You know, in Brockton, they say he's the baddest thing there since the Boston Strangler.
Hagler scoring. Hagler right now just a little too quick for Benny Briscoe. Hagler thinks he has enough youth, enough of an advantage in age. Briscoe turned around. Hagler trying to wait to line him up. Briscoe still bleeding from the nose. Hagler stopping to punch, then moving in the opposite direction, putting on a lot of mileage.
That's it. The agility of Marvin Hagler is really puzzling Benny. Benny has a real problem with boxers, especially southpaws. I can remember Rafael Gutierrez dropping Benny with a good right hand and a good solid effort from the southpaw position earlier in his career at the arena.
Benny has him against the ropes now, but Hagler moves. Hagler, I think, has stopped a couple of times on the ropes when Benny has scored. There we see it again. 1 minute to go in round 2.
I'll tell you, Hagler's in there with a real pro. Benny Briscoe he's sort of symbolic in the middleweight division. He's the type guy that everybody dreams of beating, every upcoming promising fighter. If he's a middleweight, he's looking forward to beating a name like Benny Briscoe.
Coming up on 30 seconds to go in round 2. Briscoe has solved a little bit of the puzzle of Marvin Hagler in this round.
Yes, he has, and I think he's done that with firing great body shots that he's so awesomely known for.
Good left jab by Briscoe.
Briscoe seems to be really on top of Hagler, and I think it's really going to take its time.
Big crowd at the Spectrum, the best crowd of the year. There's the end of round 2.
I'm going to score that one for Benny Briscoe on aggressiveness.
I would say so. There you see George Benton, a great middleweight in his day. He's the trainer of Benny Briscoe.
Who is also a victim of Benny Briscoe.
Right. Marvin Hagler says that Briscoe is made to order for him. He says that Benny made a mistake by not fighting him 2 years ago. Hagler claims he's much stronger now, much smarter, and he's got youth on his side. He says Benny Briscoe is a stepping stone for me. He's a name. He's had 3 shots at the title. And Marvin says if he beats Benny, Coro cannot duck Marvelous Marvin. Coming up on round 3 now. Hagler with the beard. He's the southpaw. Briscoe with the Star of David on his trunks. Benny coming in, trying to bore in a little quicker on Hagler. Hagler Gets off the ropes, going to the center of the ring. Benny would like to fight him at the center of the ring, wouldn't he?
Yes, he would, but it would have to be toe-to-toe. Marvin's doing the right thing for a man of his skill. He's got the box. He can't stand there and trade with Benny. Benny is awesome on the inside, and I do mean awesome. He throws tremendous shots to the midsection. As you've seen him when he stopped Bob Patterson in New Jersey in his last outing, tremendous shots to the solar plexus.
Hagler's really working on the nose. Started bleeding 30 seconds into the fight and has not stopped. Good uppercut by Hagler. Some good body punches by Briscoe. Both fighters scored there.
Both these men have to be in fantastic shape.
Knockout artists.
Yes, they are.
Hagler has 33 in 43 fights. Briscoe has 50 in 82 fights. The ratio, I think, is a little bit in favor of Hagler. 10 seconds to go in the round. Good uppercut by Hagler. There's blood over the right eye. Hagler's cut over the right eye.
He's definitely cut over the right eye, and that can really be a contributing factor. And I think it really came from a butt, not solid punches.
There you see referee Tommy Reed, and now Hagler's corner in the background, working on Marvin. Is that a yawn?
No, I think that's more or less a huff to try and get that mouthpiece out.
Let's take a look at the end of the round on the replay so we can determine how that cut was open.
Really a headbutt. If you can see him on the inside, there you see him hitting Benny. Benny's stalking him. He's taking his time. He's constantly getting hit, though. But wait a minute here. You should see them on the inside. That's the end of the round.
We never did see anything to open
Right,
the cut.
but if you look a little closer, start of the next round, you'll see Benny, the head movements on the inside.
Round 4. Hagler cut over the eye. Briscoe bleeding from the nose. Let's see if Benny tries to work on that right eyebrow. Does this change your fighter's plan? Will Hagler
Yes, it could. But again, Hagler has a considerable amount of experience. He seems to be sticking with his plan, although he is widening the circle that he's moving on. His punches, they're pretty much the same as they were in the first round, but they're lacking the accuracy. You'll notice he's trying to get away, and he's using now all of the ring. As to where in the first 2 or 3 rounds, he was using a small circle. He's widening the scope.
Pretty even fight so far. 1 minute gone now in round 4. Briscoe against the ropes.
You know, you have to stop and wonder what makes Benny Briscoe go on. I mean, he's 35 years old. For the past decade or so, he's fought the best that there's ever been, and he continues to amaze people.
We just got that right eyebrow of Hagler again. I think the cut is open. What makes Benny Briscoe go on is some real good paydays. There's a blink by Hagler.
I've got a feeling that Benny just might wear Hagler down. If he goes into the 6th or 7th round, I'm going to have to go with Benny. Change my prediction.
Hagler bleeding again from that right eyebrow. 1 minute to go in the round.
That could really be a problem. It's over the eye, too. It could easily dip into
He's
the eye.
winking because blood is getting in the eye. Less than a minute to go in the round. A lot of blood around the eye of Hagler. Then he gets that jab over the eyebrow.
That jab is the most unorthodox but the most effective jab in Philadelphia boxing.
Hagler scoring with head punches. But Briscoe wearing down that body, and that eye is getting stung every time.
Marvin is starting to open his mouth to breathe. Another sign of fatigue. You can see Marvin now. He's opening his mouth to breathe.
Approaching the end of round 4.
5 seconds left.
This is some great infighting. Here's the end of the round. The end of round 4. And Hagler is really cut over that eye.
Yes, he is.
I'll have to give that round to Briscoe on the basis of the damage he did to the eye and the stalking.
There's a doctor in the corner now. That'll probably really shake Hagler up. Although he has had considerable amount of fights, there's still the point of him being a younger fighter. He's not going to have to deal with that cut the way Benny Briscoe would learn how to. Benny's learned how to take them all, I think. You can see them putting pressure on the cut on that eye.
Once again, we'd like to welcome our viewers in Boston Garden, and should mention we have a New England flavor to this telecast because I grew up in Massachusetts, and our director, Frank DeVincentis, is from Situate, just south of Boston. Hagler comes out with a sneaky right. Clean, but sneaky.
Yep, but then again, remember they tell you, protect yourself at all times.
That's right. Briscoe looks like he just comes right at you.
That's it. And if you'll notice, he changes really good direction for a 35-year-old fighter. It's like he has some form of radar as to where his opponent is. He's right there all the time. He's taking advantage of the openings. He's not a great headhunter, but he's really a tremendous body puncher.
Hagler wants to punch it out now, I think. I think he wants to get this fight over with.
I don't think he really wants to do that as bad as he may seem. I think what's happened is he's trapped there, and he's a little too tired to really exhaust himself and get him out.
Now he throws Briscoe against the ropes. That doesn't faze Benny.
No, Benny's been thrown against the rope by
the best of them.
The very best of them.
We said he's fought for the world championship 3 times.
Yes.
Hagler looking for his first shot at the world title.
And fought 5-time world champion Emil Griffin on 2 different occasions.
Hagler against the ropes.
Hagler seems really fatigued. He's leaning back on his heels. And we've got almost 2 minutes into the round. Benny wanting to be a little apologetic there for a little low blow.
Blood dripping again from the right eyebrow of Marvin Hagler. Blood all over the eye.
Yes, there's blood dripping down Marvin Hagler's right eye and down the right side of his neck.
1 minute to go in the round. Is there enough blood? Is it cut enough for the doctor to ask that the fight be stopped?
Well, actually, what's going to have to happen is that it's a judgment call again. The fighter may not feel that it is. The corner may not feel it, but the doctor does have the last say. And it's very difficult to say.
Hagler rallying. Some good punches to the head of Benny Briscoe. Hagler scoring late in the 5th round.
Hagler's eye does look a little angry now.
Left hook by Hagler. Minutes to go in this fight. Hagler coming into this fight has won 12 fights in a row, 11 of them by knockout. Halfway through round 10.
You see, Benny Briscoe is definitely one of the best middleweights you'll ever see to come along for quite some time. He's paid his dues, and believe me, tonight he's showing why they called him in Paris the Black Robot, because he's exactly that. He does 1, 2, 3 all night long.
Hagler coming in, landing some punches. Good right by Briscoe. 1 minute to go in the fight.
Benny seems to weaken a little bit, but he's throwing really good shots to the inside. down there than anything else, Pete. Briscoe again, leaning and letting Marvin use his own weight against him.
Now 30 seconds left in the fight. The bell does not save you in Pennsylvania.
Benny Briscoe deserves all of your applause you're hearing here and more. This has been one spectacular show with great sportsmanship on behalf of both fighters.
10 seconds. That's it. That's it. Hagler coming over congratulating Briscoe, and Briscoe did not look at Marvin. Now he just standing in his corner as Hagler comes back over to talk to him. On my card, I have Hagler ahead by 2 points. But we'll see. We don't know what effect, if any, it has that the fight is here in Philadelphia. Waiting for the judge's decision. I had Hagler taking the first round, Briscoe the second, even in the third, Briscoe the fourth, Hagler the fifth, sixth, seventh, and the last 3 rounds were pretty much even. We'll be waiting for the decision, and Jerome Artis will be talking to the winner of this fight. We're still waiting for the decision. Once again, we'd like to say hello to all you viewers in Boston Garden. And, of course, on Prism here in Philadelphia. Now, let's go to the ring.
Gentlemen, Judge Paul Harris scores it 43-49 Hagler. Judge John Stewart scores it 44-47 Hagler.
The winner is Marvin Hagler.
Referee Tommy Reed scores it 43-48. The winner, Hagler.
Unanimous decision for Marvin Hagler. And on my card, I had it 44. Make that 48-46. Let's go to a little closer.
Okay,
now let's go to Jerome Artis.
Right here, after the Battle of the Balls with Marvelous Marvin Hagler, the winner of a 10-round decision over the symbolic Benny Briscoe. Marvin, tell me, how do you feel?
I feel real great that I got a decision here from Philadelphia. You know, I worked real hard for this fight. 5.5 weeks ready for this fight. I figured to get Benny Briscoe out of the way, I should be ready for a title shot.
But tell me, now that Hugo Coro is the champion and you say that you can knock him out, will you be pursuing a fight with Hugo Coro?
Yes, well, I hope so. He fought Ronnie Harris, who's a big mouth down there. Ron Harris turned me down for $10,000. Shows you how much he is. Benny Briscoe is a hell of a fighter. He's a tough man. He takes a lot of punishment. He belonged to have been up there with the top middleweights. Now it's shown that I belong up there with the top middleweight.
Well, Marvin, I think you've certainly proved that. And here this evening, you've seen the Battle of the Balls from the Spectrum Live. Marvin Hagler, Jerome Artis, thank you.
Well, as you know, Marvin Hagler scores a unanimous decision over Benny Briscoe here at the Spectrum tonight.
All right, so Marvelous Marvin Hagler defeats Benny Briscoe. 100 years of World Championship fights. The fight took place at the Philadelphia Spectrum. I'm Scrapbookboxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. All great fights and all great fighters will never be forgotten on my channel. Let's continue to examine 100 years of World Championship fights on the next video.
Suffered a great defeat
Ken
because now he
Larry
will
Holmes.
have a tough time getting a title shot.
15 rounds.
Hagler at 26 years old
One of the
is in
greatest
line.
fights
As we mentioned,
in boxing
Rodrigo
history.
Valdez lost to Hugo Coro, and there's a rematch in the works probably in December, and that means that probably in March be fighting for the World Championship of the middleweight division.